Hey, what's up? Seventyne here, taking a look at the 2D farming role-playing game Stardew Valley, developed by the one-man indie developer Concerned Ape, his first officially released title. Stardew Valley has you giving up your cubicle office job for a life in the country running your very own farm. Inherited from your grandfather, the farm is in desperate need of some cleaning up, but sooner rather than later your farm will be fully functional and earning you a tidy profit. For any of you familiar with the game Harvest Moon, Stardew is basically PC's version of that with quite a bit more depth to it. So much so that this is one of those games that you may need to have a wiki open in another tab for. While the primary focus is farming, there is also fishing, mining, dungeon diving and social elements available that are all fully fleshed out and all work into the game's main farming gameplay. Starting off, your farm will be overgrown with trees, rocks and wild plants scattered everywhere that will need to be cleared out to begin farming. Various crops will be the first thing you'll actually be able to start farming, with the process consisting of clearing out the land, tilling the soil, applying any fertilizers, laying your crops and then waiting numerous in-game days while keeping them watered until you can finally harvest them. Later on down the road though, you'll be able to start farming animals and creating orchards along with a bunch of other things. You could even start building machines to turn your farmed goods into even better goods, like turning milk into cheese or turning grapes into wine, increasing their sale value quite significantly. At the end of each day, everything placed inside this box will be sold, and so continues the farming portion of the game. The second biggest feature of the game is its dungeon crawling through an abandoned mine that has 100+ levels full of slimes, bats, ghosts and more, as well as ever valuable minerals and gems to mine. The combat is pretty basic, but still makes for a good break from continuous farming, providing a more exhilarating experience, and if you die in the mines, it is severely punished, losing almost all of your non-essential equipment and forgetting the last 10 or so levels that you had explored. All the levels are randomly generated in the mines, so if that does happen, you won't be playing through the same exact dungeon rooms again. Every 10 levels explored in the mines also rewards you with a really good item, usually being a weapon or a piece of armor. The ores that you manage to bring up from the mine will be used to build new equipment for your farm, or perhaps increase the quality of your existing equipment to be slightly better. Some of the rarer gems found can also be donated to the town's museum, gaining pretty good items for every 5 gems or so that you donate. The fishing in Stardew Valley, while it looks simple, is actually an extremely complex feature of the game, and one of the main reasons that you may need to have a wiki open for the game, among others. The gameplay tied to catching a fish is fairly simple. You cast your line, wait for a fish to take, and then begin a balancing act of keeping the fish icon inside the green bar until it's caught. Catching the right kind of fish for quests and missions, however, is the hard part, as certain fish are local to certain bodies of water found around Stardew Valley, can only be caught in certain seasons, and some have to even be caught in certain conditions, like it has to be raining or it has to be early in the morning. The official wiki is the best place to go if you just want all this information laid out right in front of you, but the game also offers an in-game knowledge base via the Living Off the Land TV channel, as well as the numerous books available in the library. Probably the best way to play the game if you like to find things out for yourself and create your own set of notes. As for your fishing gear, there are numerous rods and attachments that you can equip for slight bonuses, along with crab pots that you can line the water's edge with for possible daily catches. Finally, the fourth main feature of Stardew Valley is its social feature, allowing you to become better friends with the local townspeople and eventually even being able to get married and have children with one of the 6 single residents. This is the other aspect of the game that may require a wiki, as to become better friends with someone, you have to provide them with gifts, and each character only likes certain types of items. With over 30 characters in the game, this is a little bit difficult to keep track of, so you'll usually just end up focusing on 1 or 2 of the characters at a time, and even then trying to figure it out can take a while. Depending on your friendship rating with characters, you can trigger certain events out in the world that will explore their characters more, providing nice incentives to check out each character's story arc. While those are the 4 major gameplay features of the game, there is still a ton of other features to explore, like participating in numerous town events that occur throughout the seasons, or help rebuilding the community center by collecting a bunch of goods, or even taking up cooking with your freshly harvested goods. There are a ton of things to do in the game, but every day you only have a limited amount of time and energy to devote to certain tasks, and if you push these to the limit, you can end up passing out, losing most of your equipment and finding yourself in the hospital. You can, however, eat produce or cooked meals to increase your energy and health, but there isn't anything you can really do about the time. Outside of your farm, you can also rebuild and unlock certain elements out in your surroundings by collecting and depositing certain resources at the dilapidated community center. Completing one of the requested bundles provides you with various rewards like advanced machinery and rare items, but it's once you complete the entire bundle section that will unlock things like a minecart that can get you around town extremely quickly, or opening up new areas of the map by rebuilding a bridge, and even unlocking brand new buildings to build on your farm. Doing so also adds a golden star to the community center, and once all 6 of these stars have been collected, the community center will revert back to its fully functioning state, and this is probably the closest thing that the game has to an endgame, along with collecting all the various collectibles like rare scarecrows and gems. Succeeding in Stardew Valley isn't hard at all, and is probably my biggest complaint about the game, as there is no opposing force to your progression other than time. After 1 year of in-game time, you'll most likely be able to build up an almost entirely self-functioning farm that'll be turning in ridiculous amounts of profits. You'll also have most likely reached or be nearing the final levels of the mine, basically completing the dungeon delving portion of the game. All that's really left to do in the game after your first year is maxing out all of your social bars with the townsfolk and rebuilding the community center. I guess what I would have liked to see is something holding me back, whether it be crop diseases, natural disasters, or anything really. But this issue only really becomes apparent after about 10 to 15 plus hours into the game, so while this is my biggest complaint about the game, it's not really a major one. Other features of the game include full controller support, which I would suggest playing the game with, as it does make for a more relaxing experience, while also making certain aspects like fishing and movement a lot easier. Altogether, Stardew Valley is a fantastic game for anyone looking to scratch that Harvest Moon itch on PC. If you do get into the game, it can easily have you playing for 4+ hours while feeling like you've only spent a fraction of that time in game. If you're after a super relaxing and enjoyable farming game with a ton of things to do even outside of the farming, then Stardew Valley is definitely a game to check out. Anyway, that's been my player preview of Stardew Valley, the game officially released for PC on Steam on the 27th of February for $14.99 or your regional equivalent. If you want to find out more information about the game, check out the links below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.